Hello and welcome to 2K Fantasy Premier League podcast. I'm your host, Kris with a K. And no, it is not Crystal K, for those that seem to think that was my name. I think that's a special one for Rob, who somehow thought my name was Crystal. All right, how are you, Kev? You're looking very Scottish today.
Oh, yeah. It's fucking getting cold, dude. I was just moving a bunch of firewood and a bunch of stuff outside, getting ready, doing weekend stuff. And then the NFL started. So I was lying in a lazy boy watching that for a bit. My 2-year-old was asleep on my chest, so that was pretty good. And then we're potting.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about FPL at all. I mean,
it'll be a quick episode then. Famous last words.
I don't know who's injured. I don't know anything. So I'm really curious to see what you got to say.
Yeah, not a great day. Oh, well, so what we'll do is, I thought we'll give an update on my wild card. I guess a few people are. I think it's popular-ish, given it's the first international break. I got a question of the week for you. We got a couple of listeners' questions, and then we can wrap up. So
cool.
Clearly, you can time this about half an hour. It'll be fine. It'll be nice and quick. So, Kev, if you have the power of the slides. Perhaps I'll just. Sorry, I should say this is ahead of game week 4. We're recording this on Sunday, 7th September. So the deadline is next Saturday at 11 o'clock UK time. So we're like just under 6 days away from that deadline. I'm a bit bored of the wild card now. What I hate the most about it is you have to check the price site every night just in case. But not a lot's going to happen, and I always find this happens to me. But by Wednesday, Thursday this week, they'll start moving again. But by that point, I'm so bored because nothing's happened for a week. Yeah, and then I forget.
There seems to be, hopefully it doesn't happen. At this stage, there seems to be about 10-1 droppers to risers as everybody starts selling off the various versions of the team they started the season with to move to the same 6 or 7 players. So you just get way more aggressive drops from. It just seems to need less sells for these people with lower ownership to drop. So they're just drop. All these fucking people. I don't even know who like 15 people will drop, and I'll be like, I don't even know who 14 of them are. Like, whose team were they in? Their parents?
My team, Kev. All my team. That's what I was doing badly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, look, Friday night, you're going to get your main rises.
Yeah.
You kind of like hoping to get one more on a Thursday just to double. Has anyone potentially given you 2 price rises?
A few people have gone up twice. I actually thought I'd done it on Semenyo because
I don't think so.
Oh no, sorry. I've got a few players that have gone up in price already. Sorry, that's what I should have said.
Right, but I mean, like, is there anyone that you are planning to not have in your team that's gone up once that you think for sure will go up again and you'll bank a 0.1? I find that barely happens, man, especially on the IB. I had it happen to Semenyo for me, and then I ended up keeping Semenyo anyway. I was going to go Bruno. I was like, oh, sweet. I got a 0.1 here. And then I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I kept Semenyo.
I mean, Calafiore. So 5 of my defenders have gone up. So I got 5 defenders gone up in price. Porro's already gone up. Guy, I don't Porro will, but I've got Guy.
Show your team. Or
Chalobah,
is this just who you have right now? I haven't shown anything.
I'm telling you the ones that have gone up in price that might go up again. So I'm trying to stack. So
these are just you making money players, not your actual wild card vision.
Yeah, so Semenyo's one of them because he's gone up once.
Okay.
Gakpo's gone up once, and then Guy, Chalobah, and Calafiore have all gone up once. So
how many do you think of them will go up again?
I think I'm lucky if we get one more of them go up. Two would be a bonus. I just don't think it makes much money out of it.
No,
but equally, I had Senesi, and I think he's now going to be my team, which is probably quite a good segue to my team as it looks now,
which is now on screen.
Perfect.
Good looking team.
Thank you. So, I guess I think the thing that's hardest is the defense. I'll kind of just quickly talk you through my thinking here. So Dubravka's obviously nailed, and I've kind of got 3 keepers in mind that I like. Well, be careful with the word "like" when I say Vicario, but Vicario, Pope, and Raya. I think they are the best So I think Raya's the best 5.5, and I think either Pope or Vicario are going to be the best 5.0. We chatted about this before, Kev. There's no good 4.5. I prefer Dubravka to a 4.5. So I just don't, the 4.5s aren't in my mind. The only other thought in my head is I think the new Forest goalkeeper's 4.0. And I think he may battle for sells at some point for the starting lineup. So there is a bit of a wild theory in my head, which is get him. I mean, I guess the other guy that could make breaking is actually Kinski at Spurs, but it seems like Vicario's got the gloves, to be honest. But this new Forest guy, they brought him in. Maybe he might get the gloves off sells at some point. So you go for him and like save loads of money on the goalkeeper.
Right.
But I suspect I won't do that. So that's kind of my that's what I was. So that's why I'm with the goalkeepers. And then in terms of defenders, I feel like Senesi and Tosin are kind of nailed in my team because Tosin's in a good, in a team that could clean and he can get defensive contributions. Senesi, he wasn't really on my radar, but I was chatting to you and because I looked last year and he had no defensive contributions. But as you say, because they've changed their defense, he's just playing in a different way, and he's probably been like one of the main guys for defensive contributions. Plus, Bournemouth seem to be quite good at defending, and so I'm like, but I prefer him and Tosin to any of the 4.0s. So I know you like the 4.0s, but I'm like, with the 4.0s, they might get some of the defensive contributions, but they're going to get spanked. So like, get a Sunderland or a Leeds guy away at Arsenal. They're probably going to get spanked. So they're not going to. So rather than get they might get defensive contributions
against Arsenal.
Exactly.
Arsenal. You don't play any of them against away Arsenal. So then I would rather have the 4-0 guy because you got less money on your bench. Why would you play? You're not going to play Senesi away Arsenal, are you?
Maybe not.
Not with the fucking rest of your D you're about to announce.
Well, so this is why I prefer to have these guys, and then I think I can play 3 or 4 decent D every week, and I can rotate them around the fixtures, kind of where my head's got to. I then have Burn. I know you're not a fan of Burn, but I think Newcastle defense looks really good. And for me, Burn's nailed. I know you're more doubtful of that. And he also seems the defensive contribution guy, albeit he didn't get very many in the last match because they played 3 at the back. So it's there is a slight risk they try that again, but it wasn't a great result for them.
Right.
Drawing 0-0 at home to Leeds. And then I'm torn between Munoz and Lacroix at Palace. There is a hidden option, which is obviously go for both.
Or Gahey. No, yeah. I don't like Gahey. Don't go Gahey.
No, I think I prefer the Gahey doesn't get enough defensive contribution. I prefer to pay the extra.
It's like 100% Lacroix, unless you're like, I just rather have an attacking guy because I like to watch, and that's why I play FPL to watch for attacks. Like it can't be Gahey. Like Lacroix is like the best fucking C-bit guy in the game, basically. On a pretty good D. The only reason you wouldn't is because you're like, Munoz gets some and he'll get attacking returns. So I just like that better.
But that's what I'm weighing up because he's the sort of guy you could play pretty much every week. You can get attacking returns against anyone, which he proved last season. Right. And he is getting defensive contributions. He's got like 1 so far. So and if you look last season, he got a lot of defensive contributions. He's higher than a lot of the centre backs. He's only like 70 or 80 short of Lacroix, which is a couple a game, which probably makes a difference. But if you look at his last season, Munoz got a lot of defensive contributions. I think, and that's the only reason why I'm sat there going, and Munoz obviously can attack. So that's that one. And then I'm currently on Timber. I want an Arsenal defender, and I can't go for Calafiori because we've got Hincape's come in, and from everything I've read, he's going to be playing left back at some points. Although he's played a lot of left centre back, but I think he's going to play left back. We haven't brought this guy just to sit on the bench. I just think Timber's the most nailed outside of that. And what I'm weighing up is the goalkeepers, as you talked about before, don't have this wide range of score, right? Mm-hmm. And therefore, Raya versus a Vicario or a Pope isn't that great. And we're basically buying Raya for the Arsenal clean sheet. But I think Timber's going to play pretty much all our games. And the thing about Timber that works for and against him is he often comes off at 70 or 80 minutes, which is great because we do have a habit. We did this a lot last season, if you remember, Kev. We loved letting in like a 90th minute goal because we're like winning 4-0 or something. I guess it can count against you because he could go off before 60, and that might burn me at one point. But Timber's also got some attacking threat, and he's basically the same price as Raya. I know he's gone up by 0.1, so there's a slight differential. I just don't think Raya and Timber will be that different in scores, and therefore that's kind of why I'm thinking Timber is maybe better, and it means I got less money in the goalkeeper as well, because I know. And it means I've got a bit more flexibility. If I then decide, I don't need Timber, don't need any Arsenal defenders. They're just not getting defensive contributions. I'll go somewhere else. Okay. So I think there is a world where I have no Arsenal defenders. It's easier to sell, in my mind, a defender than it is a goalkeeper. But maybe it doesn't make much of a difference. So that's why I am. But that's definitely the part of the defense, and the goalkeeper is definitely the part of my team that's most up in the air. The only ones that are definitely nailed are Dubravka, Senesi, and Tosin. And I will either go Lacroix and Munoz. I just need to decide who. I guess the other player I've been looking at is Pedro Porro. I would really be interested in Udogie, but I guess the problem with Udogie is that Spence guy has been doing well for them. He got called up to England, hasn't he? So I kind of feel like Udogie's not going to get in that team. But if somehow, Spence got an injury in international duty, I'd be like, yeah, I'll be all over Udogie, and Vicario would be out the team, I think. So that's me, and I kind of see myself playing 3 or 4D most weeks. I can see myself playing 4D quite regularly, and that kind of links to the midfield. So the main 3 guys there are Mo, Grealish. I think they're absolutely nailed. So's King. Is the cheap guy. I've gone for Rodri. I don't think he was in my team last time we spoke. I just think get on him early. If he's fit, he's playing for Man City. He's going to get defensive contributions. He's going to get goals, assists. I think he'd be really good. And then I've gone for a bit of a gamble on Elliott. But if he sparks Villa into life, it sounds like he might play as the 10. I mean, it's a bit of a guess. No one quite knows. I think the Villa fans are hoping he's going to be the guy for them. But if he doesn't work out, I've got some good defenders that can cover for him anyway. And I probably won't play in the first game. It's my chance to play 4 defenders and see how Elliott does. And then if it doesn't work out, he's at the right price point. You can just flick to someone else that's around about the same, around 5.5. And then up front, Haaland and João Pedro speak for themselves. And even Nielsen, I was on last time. I just think I want a Bournemouth attacker, and I like even Nielsen compared to Semenya, just in terms of slightly cheaper, and it also means I've got a bit of money in the attacker, so I can try and look at Gyökeres or something else like that when Arsenal's fixtures change. I guess the only other thought I had in my head is, should I try and get a bit more money into the midfield and get like Gakpo? Because I do think Gakpo will be quite good for a couple of weeks until Isak sort of establishes himself in the team. And at that point, Gakpo's got a nice move to someone like an Eze when Arsenal's fixtures pick up. So that's where my head's at. Any thoughts, Kev?
Yeah, do you have anything in the bank?
Not on this team, no.
And do you have any other future plans, but besides maybe Eze, maybe Gyökeres, that kind of thing? Like, is there any nailed plan?
I kind of see. I kind of want to roll my transfers till game week 7.
Yeah, that's a big shift, isn't it?
That's the shift. So I have 4 transfers at that point,
right?
Which would be quite nice.
How many you got banked right now? 2 or 1?
I've got 2 banked. So I have 2 in game week 5, 3 in 6, 4 in 7. Then, nice. So I kind of think that 4 transfers gives you a lot of flexibility. In my head, after game week 6, well, after game week 5, Mo's not really going to be the guy I'm going to captain that often. And I in my head, I see myself selling Mo and spreading that money across the team up front. And just like Mo goes, Elliott becomes Eze, Avery Nilsson becomes, I don't know, Gyökeres, I don't know, Mo becomes someone good, I don't know, Palmer or something. I don't know. I'm not quite worked through the full theory, but that's kind of what I had in my head.
There's no name, right? Yeah, there's no nailed plan this week.
No.
It just sounds like get a bit more of the Arsenal attack in 7, like everyone else will. So I think, I like the Mo Haaland wild card. I don't see any other wild card that I would like. Like anything that doesn't have Mo and Haaland, I'd be like, well, who do you have instead? You don't. I know, like You can argue, well, I wouldn't necessarily captain these people, but there's just so many really good cheap picks this year, especially with the defensive contribution points. It's like, I know, but like, you're not going to captain these cheaper players either, and they're shittier, and you don't need to get rid of Mo. That's sort of the other side of the argument. I'm not saying for you later. I'm saying why you wouldn't have him on your wild card. You might as well start with him, because if he does go fucking bananas again, you got him.
Got it covered.
It's not hard to get to him. And like, he's had a rough start and still just shit out a decent amount of points for a rough start versus like actually decent. Like, away Newcastle is a very, very, very fucking difficult fixture for Liverpool, the way they play. And he still got points. And Bournemouth, the way they attacked them that first game, it kind of took Liverpool by surprise, and he still scored. So he'll haul in games.
And they've not had a pen yet in the league.
Exactly.
And I think Isak, I've talked about this before, I think Isak will improve him. I think the other thing in my head is, we were talking about, would you get Isak or not? I mean, Isak's a definite no for now. He didn't play the first Swedish international match, so he's nowhere near match fit. He's even admitted it himself, so he's definitely not the guy to get. But clearly, he might be the guy to get. I might decide that actually he looks really good, and actually I don't go Gyökeres. I get Mo becomes Eze, even Ilson becomes Isak. Done. Tick. Two transfers, nice and easy.
I think the way to play them is you're going to have one of Isak or Mo. You're probably not going to have two. Yeah. Too much money in a team where only one of them's the pen taker. There will be games where they both have pretty good scores, but it's going to be rare for two players on the same team to constantly haul. Like, when has that even really ever happened besides like Kane and Son? And Kane and Son teams didn't also have Gakpo and fucking Wirtz and all these other studs on it, right? Like, it's going to be more like how Arsenal have been over the last few years, where it's like, who's going to score this week? I don't know. Like, probably Mo or Isak, and then these other guys and the minutes things. I just think it's a wait and see on them right now. You're on wild card. You're not starting with Isak, but like, you could sell Mo to him. I mean, maybe Haaland starts blanking. We all must have. Yeah. He was a must have last season, and then until he wasn't, and then we all got rid of him. So I like that you've got money spread out. My only negatives on this wild card, in my opinion, is just I think I look at this and I'm like, so you're hitting wild card or bench boost next week? Like, I don't understand why you have so much money spread around. Personally, like, you've got King, who's like a clear bench player, and then you're gonna have like 4.5, 5.5 million players all over your bench. Like, it just seems a little heavy on that to me. Like, I feel like this team, okay, maybe you're going to bench Tosin, maybe you're going to bench Elliott, maybe you're going to bench Burn. Like, look through it and figure out exactly when you're doing that. And if it's like, fuck, you know what? I basically never play Sinisi ever. I might as well go Rodon or whoever. Why do I have him? It's just a waste of money.
I have gone through
that money soon.
I have gone through it, and I'm going to play all the defenders. The reason why I've gone for the four. The thing is, Sinisi or Tosin may become the absolute guy that everyone wants. And rather than to move to one of them, I've got both of them. I'm kind of partly covered already. I'm conscious that Elliott's a bit of a gamble, right? Mm-hmm. He may not even get in the Villa team for all I know. He might turn out to not be any good at all. And I'm like, oh, we've got this guy that's not playing. I'm like, oh, what do I do? Oh, that's all right. I've got these really good defenders that can just come in, cover for a couple of weeks for it works itself out. And all the players, all those defenders are going to play for me at some point in the next 3-4 weeks. So I've worked that through.
Yeah. Okay. That's just what stood out to me. I also think you've sort of gone two ways on the goalie argument. You've gone, well, I don't want to go to Raya versus Vicario. I might as well free up the money if the band of goalie points is tight. Well, then why don't you just make fucking Dubravka your goalie and go 4.0 in that argument? Like, it's like, pick one of the lanes. Like you said, you didn't want to do that earlier for the reasons you mentioned, but then you still are kind of doing that, going Vicario over Raya. The only reason that I would make a case for Vicario is because you love Spurs defensively and none of their D gets CBIT. So it's sort of like
that's kind of why I'm leaning on that.
Same with Arsenal. None of their D really gets CBIT. So and like now you've got a guy to me. You're my buddy. We pod together, dude. Your assessment of the fullbacks changes every 4 weeks, and like you usually love a guy and then he just doesn't even play. I feel like there's a huge risk here of you going with an Arsenal fullback just to save 0.4. Like I would either get one of the fucking center backs for Arsenal or I go to Rea. I wouldn't fuck around with Timber or Calafiori or when White's back or when MLS is back. There's just too much goodness in their fullbacks, and like they're gonna all get game time. I think Timber is the most nailed of the fullbacks.
100%.
I still just think that can change at any time. He's already not started a game we all thought he would start already. It's only been 3 games. Like I think Ben White's gonna get games when fit. I mean, I know he's not fit right now, but there's an international break happening. Like we might get an update after that, and it's like, oh, Ben White's back. You can immediately be like, fuck. Like I just think it's not worth it ultimately. And you've got all this rotating D you can be doing, right? Like I don't know. I'm not saying with the 4.0s, but I do think having some money in the bank and just making one of your 5D cheap isn't the worst thing in the world, dude. And like, yeah, if we like, let's say you take Tosin out or Senesi or someone, and everyone's like, oh, we got to go get these guys. Like, yes, you would then have to use a transfer to get him if you didn't have him. But if Senesi sucks or Tosin sucks or whatever, then you gotta or some other guy comes along. You still gotta use a transfer to move off of them to him. So it's like this. It's like the same argument either way to me. Like you're gonna use your transfers on players in your team, man. Like I just think you got a lot of money on your bench. I like the players. I like the team. I mean, the argument I have with Dan Burn, just for the purpose of listening to a podcast, is just the reason he was nailed is because Botman was injured, and before that he was playing left back. But they've gone and bought Hall, and Liverpool's broken out, and Trippier's there. They played 5 at the back last week because Eddie Howe wants to play those guys too. So I think he's having a real tough time trying to figure out who I bench. And I think Dan Burn looks more nailed than he is all. He might be nailed, but I do think there's a world where you've got Livramento and Hall playing or / Trippier, and the center backs are Schär and Botman. And now you're like, fuck. And the whole point is CBIT, and you didn't even get a last game. I don't know. I'd rather like Timber, Vicario, Burned, Van Dyke, way more expensive nailed, and seems to be getting CBIT, which is weird, but seems to be Rodon and Rea. I think that's the same money. Like, I don't know personally, but I guess you like Newcastle D. Why don't you just go Pope?
Well, Pope's definitely in the mix there.
Yeah, okay. I don't love Dan Burn because of the slight hint of rotation risk. I'm not saying he's not going to play. He's going to get minutes and stuff. We've got some rotation risk with Timber. I get the Munoz thing. I prefer Lacroix. I like Senesi and I like Tosin now that the transfer deadline's over. I would think that my team would be a lot different. My team would be different from me while carding last week, because Pedro Porro will be one of those two. I just started with Pedro Porro because he's more expensive and I was going to move off him, and their fixtures are great for like 5 weeks. And I figured till I know who the CBIT guys are, I might as well get the guy on corners, and then I'll move to the CBIT guy later. So I've just sort of bought time there. I could see it being if Senesi goes to like 4-7 or whatever, I'll be like, I'll go Tosin. Bournemouth, I don't think are going to keep a lot of cleans. I also think that it's still up for debate that Senesi gets all these CBIT because the 3 teams they've played have attacked. I know Wolves suck, but they attack. They've played Spurs who have attacked them, and Liverpool's attacked the shit out of them. So it could just be a game script thing that he's happened to haul in all these defensive contribution points, and it might not necessarily mean he gets them every week. It's looking like he is because he's got fucking a billion of them. And I do think the way Bournemouth have set up their team, it makes their center backs look good. I'm like, I hope they keep selling these guys to like Real Madrid for fucking 60 million. And
it's mad, isn't it?
I think there's a good chance that, what is it, Houston, the guy's name? I know he's good, but he could have just looked a lot better than he is because of their system. And like now Senesi looks better than he is. And they sell him. And then they seem to get these like 20-year-olds in, right? who look better than you think. So anyway,
it's interesting. Yeah,
that's the deal.
yeah.
The mids, I love Grealish. I love Rodri. I mean, he's on watch for me to bring in once. I just think it'll be one game. Like it's how a lot of people are like love Bruno, gets C-bid and he attacks. Like I see a cheaper version of that with Rodri. We talked about it.
He's just not on pens. He's just not on pens. That's
exactly. But he's so much cheaper. And I see a little bit of that with Paqueta at West Ham as well, who is on pens and took he's getting a lot of C-bid as well. The thing is, the defenders that are the like C-bit beasts are like the Lacroix. I'm gonna be unhappy if he just ever doesn't get it. Even this week he didn't get it, but then opt to change it. He did get it. It's just not in the game because the game week ended. That's 3 straight weeks. Technically, he's actually got to fucking 10. And 2 of the other weeks he was like 14. Like I'm gonna be shocked if somebody like him or Tarkowski or whatever don't get it in any given week, right? If Bruno or Anderson or Paqueta or whatever don't get it, I'll be like, it's pretty fucking hard to get, man. Like
it's 12.
12's a lot, dude. And it's going to come down to game script and stuff as well with them. So I don't expect them to get it every week, but they ran the analysis on the last 3 years. Rodri was like the highest guy in the fucking game with Tarkowski, though. It wasn't like he was getting it. And it was like 48. Like Rice, when he played for West Ham, was there too. Like, so there are going to be some mids that get it. And it's going to be it's going to be teams that are pressing and turning the ball over higher up the pitch, because it's going to be more about interceptions and recoveries, and also on set pieces on their end, heading the ball away. So Rice, Rodri. So I don't know if Paqueta is going to get it a lot or it's just happened to happen.
Yeah, I think Paqueta is interesting. There is a world where I'm trying to get a bit of feedback on this. Are you going?
Yeah, I think Paqueta's interesting, but ultimately, like, I'd rather have Rodri. I like the Elliott punt. Why not? You guy that likes to punt. The more you tinker, the puntier your team starts to look, dude. You better start hoping this fucking deadline happens quick. You're gonna have Bernardo Silva back in your team. I think.
Oh, he's definitely on my list.
You've just gotta recognize, like, I need a leash on punts. How many punts? Like, as long as you don't end up with like 5-4 punts, like even 3 is like, it goes wrong. It's like, fuck, I got too much. Like, I missed out on this bandwagon guy that went bananas because I got this punt, and then you're usually trapped on a punt because they have a good fixture run, so then you don't want to sell them. So it's like, that's I think that tends to be what when a punt goes wrong, what really amplifies it and multiplies it, because it's like, oh well, like what people are dealing with the Villa players right now, like good fixture run should fuck, what do I do? So, but I do like it. Obviously, I love Mo, Grealish, King's the best 4.5 until he's not playing, but he looks like he's nailed to me. JP Holland, love it, and Evan Nielsen. It's like one of like, we're in a period right now where there's like 6, 7, 8 good forwards you could pick. Right as the season goes along, we'll have podcasts, episodes where it's like, fuck, there's only one good forward. That seems to be what happens in this game. And I think it's because they just don't get any points if they don't score or assist. And that's so like if they go on a 3-game don't score a goal, like all of a sudden Chris Wood's blanked in 2 and it's like, fuck, I gotta get rid of Chris Wood. Obviously I gotta get rid of Chris Wood. Yet he braced game week 1 and he's got like Burnley, Sunderland, and like his price will start dropping, right? And it's like, that's just what happens with the forwards, dude. There's all these options, and then they blank for 2 weeks, and then they all fucking look like shit on paper, where the midfielders are getting clean sheet points, and like.
I just wonder if the reality is that third forward becomes like a bit of a rotation person or something.
The problem is there really isn't a great cheapie. Like there's some 6 mil guys, and they're maybe
so what I mean by rotation is it's a rotation transfer, as in you just buy you kind of sell you have the forward for like 5 weeks when he's got a good fixture run, and then you buy the next guy that's on the fixture run.
Yeah, maybe, but then you could do that with midfielders as well, get maybe even more points because they score more points. It's tough. There are definitely a lot of good forwards I like. I mean, I'm sure you were playing around with other forwards as well, or like just starting with Gyökeres, save a fucking transfer or whatever later. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, starting with Gyökeres or starting with Gakpo would all be about. I mean,
So I
Gakpo
don't
is a
like
bit
the
more.
Gakpo one at all. I can comment on that as well after when you're done. You mentioned it earlier though.
I like the. I just see Gakpo being a good pick for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
I think Isak's going to come right in, and it's going to be a problem with Gakpo and Ekiteke or some. It's a problem for somebody, and I just don't feel like who's he playing over? Grealish and Rodri? Like, who are you going to play him instead of?
Well, the reality is I'll probably be signing Rodri for him, so maybe that's not the right way of doing
No,
it.
I don't like it at all. Then
I mean, I suppose I'd have to come up with 2 and a bit million to get rid of a couple of million to get rid of. I mean, if I went for the 4 million goalkeeper option, and then I
don't hate it.
Gave up an Arsenal, then I could make Elliot Gakpo, and that's like that's interesting.
So here's the theory on the 4 million. Okay, I've gone Raya. I just think that Arsenal clean sheets are going to become a thing of the game, and they're just so likely. From what I've seen, they should basically have 3 clean sheets in 3 games already, and I just feel like, and one of them was Liverpool, and they happened to score a worldy free kick to get rid of that clean sheet, and it did not look like they were going to score on them. The most attacking team in the league. So to me, it's like I definitely want to at least have one of these clean sheets. The question in a few weeks will be like, should I have 2 more than 1? So I just think I'm like fully entrenched in the Raya camp. However, park that idea for a second. The concept of the 4-4 is like the range on goalkeeper points is so tight typically. Like, sure, a Pickford will pop off for a little more, but that's because of like pen saves that happen to happen. You can't predict that, right? I know he's got one already this season, but like that's the only real reason he's a bit higher. The ones that get more clean sheets tend to get less save points, and the save points and the clean sheets sort of like constrict each other so that they're a little tighter.
Agreed.
And you're going to have the save point guys have now got a bit more of an avenue to points too, where like the more saves they're making, if they're from inside the box or whatever, they count for even more bonus points. So the guys that get less clean sheets and more saves are now, I think that it's going to get even tighter because the more save people are going to get a few more extra bonus points as the year goes on, I believe. It's fucking minuscule. We haven't talked about it before. I just think the band will be tight. So why would you? I know a lot of other people that put teams together and are like, I will never pay more than a 4-5 because why the fuck would I pay more than that when the points are so tight? Well, if that's the theory, then those people should all have the 4-4 nailed guy. Especially this team sucks, but they were known for keeping a shitload of clean sheets last year, and I don't think it was because of Trafford. I think it was because of the system and the way the team plays and everything. So
I think the immediate issue is the fixtures, and he just puts you off, right? He's got Liverpool at home, Forest at home, so this is the Dubravka I'm talking about, and then Man City away and Villa away. I mean, they are the four of the worst fixtures they can have. After that, looks all right.
Like if you were wildcarding in game week 7, you'd take this a little more seriously because those fixtures happen. The reality is most of these keepers are going to get like 2 and 3 pointers anyway.
The issue is that there was another 4 keeper that plays. Now, if we suddenly find out, oh, by the way, this new guy, John Victor, is going to take over Sells' gloves in 2 weeks' time, and he comes in, then you'd be like, hang on a second.
Yeah, 4-4.
Now this is on. This is massively on. Or, Vicario gets injured and Kinski's in. It's on. If another 4.0 keeper comes in, we'll all be looking at it very hard. Yeah. But I could just buy the 4.0 goalkeeper, if that makes sense. But that's the other route of freeing up money is I could go in game week 7. You know what? I might jump to 4.0 here, and my transfer, maybe it's not the most exciting transfer of all time, but I move to 4.0 goalkeeper, free up the money, and then reinvest that in the forward line. So
maybe.
Because I guess I'm looking at this of going, by having quite a spread of players, I can carry an injury or 2 to game week 7 without having to do my transfers, if that makes sense. And I know that's always hard to do, but sometimes you're like, someone's out for a game or 2 or whatever, and you're like, if someone gets a long-term injury, then it's a bit harder to keep them. But sometimes, but actually, I think my learning is try and not look at the price sites, which is why I think I had to ask you where the price sites, because I hadn't looked at it until I was obviously on Wildcard. So, Kev, let's just jump to question of the week.
Sure.
Question for you.
What is the team of the week so far? What does that mean?
Team of the season, I should say. Did I say team of the week? I mean team of the season. So the game tells you, and I should tell you the game.
Oh, like if I click on the little stars.
Yeah, the stars. You'll get the magic team. I will tell you it's a 5-3-2 rather than trying to make you guess, which tells you something.
Figured it was mostly D. Yeah. Okay.
So who is the team? Let's see how many you can get.
I think Enzo Fernandez. I can't even remember if that was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever. I'm pretty sure Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea is going to be in this team as one of the 3 mids.
Yeah, so it's team of the
Semenyo. So I'm gonna do the mids quick. So Enzo, Semenyo, and I can't remember, dude. I can't even remember like player names and team names right now. Like it's like my brain is
You'll
so
kick
far
yourself
away.
on this one. You'll kick yourself. You love him.
I love him.
Yeah. Who do you love?
Jack the lad.
There you go. Right, so I'll give you 2.5 because I'll give you 2.5. You get 2.5 because I gave you a clue there. So yeah,
I just love his fucking banterish demeanor.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
2 forwards.
What about the keeper? I guess the Pickford. He just saved a pen. It must be him. Okay. So 2 forwards. JP. Might be Chris Wood, but a bunch of players have scored. I don't know. I can't keep track of all the goals. I don't remember last weekend even. Who got a bunch of goals last weekend? Who's in my team? Holland's doing okay. I'll go JP Holland. Whatever.
Correct.
Oh, nice. And then I'll go with the 5D. I think, okay, the fucking goal-scoring Chelsea guy is Chalobah, I think. So he'll be – and whoever scored a fucking goal basically here. So he'll be in. Calafiori and Timber. Van Dijk, is he? I know he's like leading the C bit, but he's. Let me think here. It's probably another Chelsea D. Who else has scored? That fucking other Bournemouth D scored. What's his name? I don't remember his name. It's a weird name. So other Bournemouth. It's gonna come out wrong and I'll sound racist or something. I'm not even gonna guess his name. The other Bournemouth center back. And then is that 4? And then I'll go. What other teams have just been cleaning? Newcastle, but has anyone in Newcastle scored a goal yet? Though it's got to be a goal scorer or like an attacking return guy. I mean, I'll go Cucurella for Cucurella. Okay.
So Calafiore, Timber, Chalobah, all correct.
Okay.
You went too clever on Bournemouth. It was Senesi.
He didn't even score, eh? There you go. What's more important, bro?
No, he's got an assist. He's got one assist. He got 14 points last game.
Oh, and now as you say that, I immediately remember the fucking hauls all the Crystal Palace teachers got last game. Like Mark Gahey and shit.
Mark Gahey's the man. Yeah. So, okay, 3 out of 5 at the back. Yeah. 2 out of 2 forward, 2.5 in midfield, and the goalkeeper is
Pickford. Oh, who is it? Ram?
Carrier, yeah.
Do they have 3 cleans?
He's had 2 cleans, but he's had 2 9-pointers, I think, and then a 3-pointer.
Okay.
Because he had some saves and bonus on his games. He's kept two cleans in. So I don't know if it's worked or not because it looks a bit weird on my screen, but can you now show that on the slides, that team? It may or may not be there.
I'll have to like exit here. Let me do this. Transition here. I'd have to reload it. See if that works. Oh, I think I might have lost the whole thing now, dude.
Excellent.
I told you, man. I don't like this. Okay, let me go out and in and see if it even opens. Yeah, it worked.
Can you see the team? So our YouTube watchers can see the team. There we go.
I could probably do that a little stealthy, sexy next time. A little better than what I just did. Now that I know what I'm doing.
It's all about learning, man. All about learning. Right. So we got a couple of questions. So the next question, so Clive Haggett asks, so hopefully you have this on screen.
Yeah.
Based on Kev's wildcard and the theory on cheap defenders, 2 game weeks later from playing the wildcard, who would you now pick as your best 5 defenders going forward? Or are you happy with your choice? He said, my prediction, and never gave his prediction. But anyway, I guess the question for you is, who would your 5 defenders be on wildcard now? We've kind of talked about it a lot, so I kind of just rattle them off for us.
Yeah, most nailed would be Lacroix. I think he's the best.
Okay.
Especially for the cheaperness. Like I think the argument to me is like him versus Munoz is so close, but then he's cheaper. So we'll go with him. And then the Alderate is I think the best 4-0.
Okay,
they've got good home games too. Like I can't remember what week it was, but like when you would actually use these guys is at home, and they've got like Wolves at home and some other good team at home, maybe Everton or something, whatever. Not great, but better than like Man City and shit. So like you might look at them at home and be like, oh yeah, fuck, I'll start that. Gets 4 points if they get scored on. Pretty good. Like he's like a C-bit guy to me. I still would go with the 3-4-0s. I just think it's these guys, I think, unless they just aren't getting C-bit ever, then they look to me like they're going to, the way it's shaping up and stuff. But
so is it still the same 4.0s you got? So Rodon, Alderate, who's the third one?
Esteve or Esteve or whatever.
Oh, right, yeah.
The only so there's another one on that team, Ekmel, something like
Ekvidal.
Yeah, sure. He's not nailed, right? That Tuan Zabi guy, we talked about this last pod. He's about to drop, or he has dropped to 3.9.
He's not quite dropped yet, but I think he will drop before the game week deadline.
Yeah, so if you're looking for like a true cheapest fucking guy that's nailed, I think he'll be nailed over that other guy.
So he was in my team until I decided that Sinisi seemed really good at 4.5.
Yeah. I think Alderate is the best one, though, because he actually has been getting, like, he didn't play full minutes the first game because they just signed him. And he's come in and he's right at that 10 mark every game that he's started since then. And just the way they play. And they've got the better home games.
So actually what you're currently telling me is 4 of the 5 that you currently have, you wouldn't change. And the 50 would be
Pedro Porro, who I knew I didn't love. I'd probably go Tosin personally, just because I think as much as Sinisi's been an absolute stud on C-bit, I think Tosin's right around that 10 mark too, and just like infinitely higher clean sheet odds to me each week. The way that Chelsea play, I think Bournemouth's sort of lucky to not have, been scored on more. Like I think even Wolves had some really good chances that like should have went in, and then all of a sudden you're sitting here not even with Sinisi in the team. So I just think it's still something that like, come game week 6 or 7 could be slightly different, but I just like the cheap 4.0s. But yeah, I mean, if I went 2 4.0s instead, it would be Alderate. I think Rodon. I just think I like the look of. I mean, Rodon was like a guy that was at Spurs and like would have been starting for them as well, type of range, and is playing for Leeds. He's not some random championship hero. He's like an actual Premier League guy that went to Leeds, right? And he's young. So I feel like I like their D a little more. I'm hoping that Mpaddu, still learning these names, guys. The player of the year for them last year is back, like patrolling in the middle of the field, because I think that'll help them a lot.
So you went for those 2 4.0. Who would your third non 4.0 defender be then? Who's third?
I'd probably go Lacroix, Tosin, Sinisi right now, personally. Yeah, with Rhea and Net, and then that's still like quite a bit of money, not in D. There is an argument to be made that you just go 5 starting D that are all clean sheet guys. C-bit guys. Like, I don't know. like spend a bit more money and actually play them every week. Like Lacroix, Tarkowski, Van Dijk, Tosin, Senesi and you just play them. And like, oh fuck, they didn't keep a clean sheet, but they got 4. Like your mids aren't getting 4 when they blank. Your forwards are getting 2 when they blank. These guys are getting 4 when they blank. Most players in this game blank like 60% of the weeks.
I think the thing that puts people off is that means you can only play 5 attacking players, and that's the challenge.
And then you're like, oh, but like you have so much money to spend now because you're like these are the guys you're actually playing. So you're gonna have King and like 5.0 mid, 5.0 mid or something. You're gonna go like 5-2-3 or something like that. But then it's like, oh, I don't have this team doesn't have Jack Grealish in it. This team doesn't have João Pedro in it. And it's like, this is why I'm not doing it. I also like to play this game and watch the games and hope they score. But yeah, your baseline of getting 4s instead of 2s or 3s and 4s instead of 2s and 1s, it's going to fucking add up, man. Like Senesi being at the top from 1 assist. Lacroix getting 11 points from 1 assist. She got 13 points. That was a 13-point game. The guy got an assist and a clean sheet, 2 CBIT and bonus. It's like, fuck, dude. These guys.
I think it's a 14-point game. It's a 14-point game.
Well, he got 11, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think with this, if you got the CBIT, he would have got. I think he'd get the extra bonus.
How many times are any attacking players getting 14 points, man? Like, actually, we've seen some huge defensive scores already. It seems to be not rare. It seems to be happening rather frequently, actually. Like
it's more though. Double when he does it though. Is it going to be the same guys?
It's the CBIT guys that are getting it. So you like look how many Tarkowski was on for 11 until he gave away the penalty. You've got Senesi just got 11. You've got Lacroix just got would have been 14. Those are like Saka Hall weeks. Like Saka gets 2 goals and an assist. That's like 13 points, something like that. Like that's how many attacking returns these guys have to get just to equal this fucking Senesi game or this Tarkowski clean sheet only game. Like nothing else happened. You got imaginary bonus in CBIT points, and you got would have got an 11. Like that's fucking crazy, and that's gonna be something that every single week you're gonna be looking like, fuck, this guy's gonna get an 11 again, isn't he? I hope they get scored on. This is crazy. A lot of other people have this guy in their team. I don't. Like again, he's gonna get 11. 8-point clean sheets, even if he's not on the bones. It's like, fuck, dude. How many weeks do attacking players in our teams actually return? And how many teams are really like, oh, fuck, well, Semenyo looked good game 1, but he hasn't done anything. If he blanks this week, he hasn't done anything for 2 weeks. Two. And it's like, shit. Senesi blanked 2, and he got 4. That's way better. Every 2 games, that's 4 extra points. Even if Semenyo got an assist, that's still more. So I don't know. It's definitely something that like is worth considering, man. Like if you wanted to go bold, I really do think fucking going like Tarkowski, Van Dijk, Senesi, whatever.
The reason
you're back 4 or something and just playing.
I was on Tarkowski before, but I've been put off Everton's immediate fixtures because I think the whole thing, it's great if you're going to get the cleans with it. And I'm trying to think about the CBIT plus the cleans. Right. Should we jump to Sandy's question, then wrap up?
Sure.
So Sandy asks, he's got 4 questions for us.
Yeah.
With Palmer coming back, should we stick with him if we still have him?
I think so, yeah. If you're not, he's already wild carded. He doesn't have Mo though.
Yeah, which is his next question. I mean,
yeah,
I think as a standalone thing of having, I don't have a problem having Palmer. I don't see it as an issue, but I think the issue with Palmer is the amount of money is, which stops you getting other players in, and I think that's where you probably end up concluding you might want to sell him.
I gotta.
Because effectively,
I don't know why.
He's almost a punt now, isn't he?
I don't know why we're giving him so much. Like, dude, name another player. They haven't scored in they've scored 1 goal in 20 game weeks that we're giving this much, like, when I say leeway, like, we're not like, this guy's fucking terrible. 1 goal in 20 weeks? Fuck this guy. Like, name another player in the league in that scenario.
But he costs
like, if Jack Grealish had only got 1 attacking return in his last 20 game weeks, you don't even look at him. Like, if
he's the 5th most expensive player in the game, isn't he?
Way. What?
Is he the 5th most expensive? Is he 3rd most expensive player in the game?
Him or Saka? And him, Saka, and Isak are 10.5, aren't they?
Well, Isak's dropped. No, Saka's 10.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So
he's 3rd most expensive player in the game as well. That's why.
The more I think about it, I don't know why I started with him. I really don't. It must have been like a bitch movie thing, and then Chelsea's fixtures were really good. And then I know he had those 2 goals in the World Cup dumb tournament, but like the reality is they were both like these low other side of the net goals that like weren't great, and it was just sort of the way PSG were attacking and so open, right? Like most of the teams in the Premier League aren't going to play Chelsea like that. Like he's going to have to score that against Bournemouth or Liverpool. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, not Burnley and shit. Like, he can't seem to get through anymore. I don't know. He had that one fucking game last year where he was just like, could have had 6 goals. And you know, and then the year before he was like 5 million and slowly became
the flip to that is it's the second season and Maresca, they may have learned some stuff. He's only played 1 match so far. I mean, had he played the West Ham game, given how West Ham played that day, he probably would have hauled, right?
That's what everyone said. I don't know. Maybe
I think he would.
Maybe they would have. The team wouldn't have done as well because he was there. And it's just everything seems to have to go through him, and then they're like, when Palmer gets it, double team him. But something's up. Like I think it's just like in baseball, dude. Like they start changing the pitchers because the batters start figuring them out mid-game. And it's like, once you figure out a player, these coaches are good. Like, here's how here's how they've set up formation and how they're using Palmer. We're going to shut him down by doing this. Like, we're not just going to have Rodri on him. We're going to actually take Rodri off of him and put our second and third best defenders on him to double team him and have Rodri take care of everyone else. That kind of shit starts happening. And it like totally fucks up the way they play. And now they got to go long ball over the top because they can't go through Palmer and shit like that, right? So I think we're at a point where it's just too much not returning over too long a time.
And too much money.
And he's going to fucking drop hard. And like, if he doesn't return this week, dude, you're going to lose like another 0.3 on the guy. Like, he's just losing you money. It's probably worth taking a hit, man, to get Mo. And you also don't have Mo, good transition. Like, you've got that guy there sitting there with like 70% of your money for Mo. I think you just get Mo.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think you weigh up. Yeah, the second question is So his second question for those that listen is: if I can't get Mo, is there a cheaper midfield Liverpool mid that I should get, or just hide behind the sofa for the Burnley game? I mean, if you want to cover the Burnley thing, I mean, Gakpo is the only place you can get. But I mean, I think it'll be right for 2 or 3 games. I think Kev thinks maybe it'd be shorter than that. But either way,
he could haul. But
yeah, but Mo's the safe
transfer out waiting to happen. Gakpo, I would just take the hit now for Mo, whatever that means. Palmer and 4 million or whatever that number is now from. I don't have his team, but like somewhere. I don't know.
And question 3: with City looking like their usual, we will concede exactly 1 goal. I know what he means.
Right.
Would you be tempted to do 8-0 to Van Dijk?
No.
I think
I would get Mo in your team now. I'm pretty sure he has Bruno in his team. I would definitely sell Bruno and Palmer for Mo and someone like Jack or something, if that's a thing.
I don't think 8-0. I think 8-0 might end up being someone comes back on our radar quite quickly.
Maybe,
but we will see, because
we haven't really near Seabit the other day.
But we haven't really seen his attacking side yet. I guess the unknown is we haven't seen Vardiol in that team and see where he does. I mean, Vardiol may come back. I think in Man City, because remember last year, Vardiol was the best defender to have, even though Man City didn't keep clean. So so I think Vardy and 8-0 definitely on my watch list.
But if he's not getting CBIT, he's overpriced at 6. Like, I don't want to pay $6 million for anyone that's not getting fucking CBIT as well. Like, you can get a fucking guy that's going to get 8-point clean sheets for $4.5 million right now in Tosin. Like, why would I pay $6 million to not even get those 2 points every week or every 2 out of every 3 weeks or whatever? Like, that's crazy to me. Like,
I think the thing with one of the reasons why I like Rodri is I do think at some point the Man City defense might look attractive. But if I've got Rodri, I feel I've got a bit of coverage there because you've got a clean sheet point and you've got some CBIT coverage there as well. So you kind of almost, if that makes sense, if Man City keep a clean sheet, but their defenders get 4 points but no CBIT, but Rodri gets a clean sheet and 2 CBIT, it kind of covers that. I know it's a bit of a roundabout way of thinking of it, but that is one comparison. And this last question, which is on everyone's mind, I'm sure, at some point Watkins has got to come good, right?
I would keep Watkins right now and sell Bruno personally. I like Bruno. I like that he gets the defensive contribution points and attacks and stuff, but he does have not great fixtures for a few weeks here. So I would, for your Mo money, go Palmer and Bruno over Palmer and Watkins. I would actually keep Watkins as bad as they've looked because Watkins will be a lot easier to just straight swap to Gio or anyone else in the entire game. You know, besides
I think that there is a good chance you'll want to get another forward in.
Exactly.
And at the moment, if you're selling Watkins, who are you selling them to? Because if I'm honest, if I had a couple of million just
JP, he doesn't have JP. I know he doesn't have JP because every time JP does anything, he's on that fucking Slack like, Jesus Christ, I'm quitting. So, I mean, all I'm saying is to get to Mo again from Palmer, the forward that you would have to get to come down from Watkins is going to be shit. I'd rather come down from Bruno and get like a pretty decent fucking 5.56, whatever that number is, mid. And like you still have that money up front to get JP or Gio or someone. So that to me makes more sense. I would and like Watkins' fixtures are really good and Bruno's aren't for 2 weeks. Cool, Bruno gets CBIT. You're paying $9 million and you get 4 pointers. The guy does not do well versus tough teams, man. He basically only scores versus shitty teams typically. I know it's Man City, so maybe there's a Derby thing and he could, but like I'd way rather have Watkins with a really good fixture because the guy does get like triple return games, dude. And all of a sudden, no one's talking about this anymore.
Yeah.
Is that it for questions? Yep.
That's it. Yeah. I think good time to wrap up. So I guess
90% on your wild card, that what we just saw there, like 95, 60. Where are you?
So subject to injury news, right? Because we still got a second lot of internationals. I'm 90% on my wild card. I mean, if it's going to change, it's quite obvious it's going to be a defense and goalkeeper. You can tell that from this conversation. I think that I like the Elliott punt. I think I'm just going to go with that. I just feel like if it doesn't work out, I've got a couple of decent defenders that can cover him. It's not like I'm sat there going, this is a complete disaster. And if Elliott doesn't work out, I'll just sell him in game week 7. I'm kind of like quite chilled about it. I think the fixtures are good. So yeah, as I say, I having talked this through, I don't think I will go the 4.0, but now I see the Bravka's fixtures pick up around game week 8 rather than game week 7. I'm starting to think maybe that's the time to go for my goalkeeper. So maybe I need to look at my goalkeeper over a 4-week fixture and decide who the best choice is then. And the answer might not be Raya. The answer might be not.
You'd be moving on to Raya at 7, not off of him.
Yeah, that's the other point, isn't it?
One thing we'll start talking about in like 2 or 3 weeks is I'll probably think it's better to have 2 Arsenal D, and you'll probably think it's better to have. You're gonna want Eze and Gio. That'll be like a thing I can already sense it. So like I feel like you should be aware of that.
I mean, I want Eze now, but common sense says no.
Just get him. How are you gonna get to him?
That's go for 4.0. Go for 4.0 goalkeeper and bin off Timber.
I'm gonna go to him with fucking 5.5 million defenders on your bench because apparently you're playing the other ones. I don't understand that. Like, that's where I feel like 3 weeks from now, I can be like, fuck, I got to get some of this money off my bench, man. I can't get to Eze because I've got 5. I'm seeing 5s on my bench. Well, I think you should go 1-4 OD and like just fucking make a tough decision. You seem to like want them all. Like one of these D burn to 4, got $1 million. You can easily get Eze now, like sort of, right? I mean, right now you'd have to go from Jack, and that does not look like a player I'd want to sell for anyone. So
I see either Mo or Elliot becoming Eze when I move. But to get that money, I'm going to have to give up someone. And not I've got on of Gio or
like I got
even Nielsen.
who's, if you don't go Evan Nielsen, you go Semenyo instead of Harvey Elliott, then now you could easily move him to Eze in a few weeks after their good fixture run. It's just who's the forward. I mean, you could get to 6 million forward by taking, like, if you went burn to 4, you got $1 million, right? Pump that into Evan Nielsen, that's 8. Okay. So if that 8, what do you need to bring Elliott up? 5 to what? 2? Basically, just under 2. So now they 8 to 6. So you can get a 6 million for it if you had a. So this is where the 4 million D would come in. Like now, all of a sudden, you can have Semenyo and Thiago or whoever, and you can just go Semenyo as in a few weeks, play the fixtures for a few weeks from whoever, something like that. I don't know. Just that $1 million from your 50 is going to help with that getting as
I think the thing that interests me the most would be, I'd say the 4.0 goalkeepers there. It's just the lack of, it's just the shocking fixtures of Dubravka. I think I'm just throwing points away.
No, few weeks. Yeah. Don't. I'm not saying don't.
I know you're not.
I'm saying go your 5th D, make 4 million. The 4-4 thing is like simply like you're the kind of guy that's like the goalkeeper position's fucking stupid. You don't get points. Why would I put any money into this? I can get a playing 4-0 sorted. And Dubravka's the kind of keeper that when he does finally keep a clean sheet, he's gonna be like 11 points. And over like 6-week period. And then that's why by the time the season ends, he's up right there with all the other 4 5s.
My instinct is there's going to be an injury that messes up my wild card and changes my mind. That's the thing. But so to answer your question, if there's no injury news, I'm probably not far from going to land.
Okay. What are we for? When do all these fixtures that they're all playing all over the world?
I think they finish on Wednesday. I think it's the last set will be like Tuesday, Wednesday. So
okay.
So watch out for the injury news. Watch out for those people on those long flights home from wherever they've been playing across the world. Because that's where you go watch out from someone like Minogues, right? Because he'll be like playing somewhere crazy in South America, and he'll be like coming back and be too tired to start, and that's when you go, I'll just go Lacroix then.
Yeah,
that could be the tiebreaker on it. The immediate miss of a match.
Munoz to Lacroix 0.5. Burn to Andrade 1. Now you got 1.5 to play with. Get all this money coming off your bench, bro. It's so fun to spend it. These what ifs. Get Eze, no problem, dude. All right, man.
Cool. Right. Have a good one.